Well, in that case, I suppose we can begin. So, it is, as you can see, a very bright morning, as it were. You find yourselves walking among three other strangers and what appears to be human woman, middle age, you believe, walking along a trail within the swamps in marshland nearby the town of Ginrun, where you have been staying or residing. You were curious over the promise of a substantial amount of gold pieces in exchange for as- assistance towards a particular incident that appears to have occurred out in this area. You are not aware of any particular settlements, places of interest out here in the wilderness, but whether through curiosity or the promise of gold, you have decided to venture and see what you find. As you are walking along, you do note the area is in fact what you expect from a marshland: humid, marsh, marshy, muddy, plenty of animals here and there, many as mosquito trying to nip at you. Ignore it, smack them, whatever you do is up to you, but you continue to walk while this human woman walks with purpose, leading you through towards this trail. Do you do anything? Whether you are in the company of strangers or company of friends, I'll leave up to your guys. Do you do anything? Discuss, speak, see anything at all? Or shall we continue?
Uh, I don't know if Albert is being weird for me, but the screen is just gray.
I think I might have left a fog layer on. That's on me. Hmm. Yep. Mm. Yeah, it's being a little iffy with me, but yeah, I only use it for maps, and currently we don't have any need for maps right now, so you don't have to worry about it right now. I can fix that up in a jiffy. But yeah, anything else?
Mm, is there anything like peculiar about the swamp as we walk through it? Or is it just like normal?
Well, going ahead and looking about, and with a passive perception of 20, you do notice that when you first started this little walk, pretty ordinary and normal. But again, with a passive of 20, you do notice a little bit of peculiarity, as just little by little, it appears the area seems nicer. It's less muddy, less humid. As you go along, you see less of rotten trees, bits of mud, and standing water here and there. And as the path becomes a bit more refined, you see lots more sights of wildflowers, calmer fauna and flora. It's a little peculiar, but also really nice, all things considered. It, it's quite beautiful in a way.
Nicest swamp I've ever been in.
It might very well be.
I'm sorry, did I miss the link for the roll 20?
It's Albert.
Yeah.
That should be the correct link, I believe.
Yeah, that should be it.
I just requested. I think I missed it too.
Right.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, I I gotta hit the admit entry thing whenever it shows up. But thankfully, again, it's free, not super complicated. Truthfully, I tried Roll20, but nearly got an aneurysm trying to make it work. So that's why I use Owlbear. But, but yeah. So in the meantime, anything else you guys are thinking of doing, discussing, or shall we continue?
I'm good to continue.
I'm
Okay.
good to keep moving.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. With little in terms of conversation, you find yourselves continuing to follow this human woman who who without any prompting doesn't really speak much other than to keep you have you keep following her. As you continue to move onward, all of you do notice that the area around you appears to be much calmer, and part of you thinks out of place, part of you thinks quite pristine for an area for a swamp. And you watch as you were formerly traveling across muddy paths with planks of wood here and there to help, you know, ease the burden of travel. Here you find yourself walking on more solid ground, which eventually leads to paved ground and stone. As you eventually find yourselves on the edge of what appears to be a large estate. Think like Southern American plantation. Very nice, very nice looking. Lots of bits of white. You can see all sorts of, I don't know if you'd say shrubbery, but like well maintained flora, bushes, brushes, what have you. It is immaculate to say the least, and very surprising. It feels like an oasis in the marshland that you would have never even imagined. You see more of the wildflowers in the area, and you think you also see what do you think, fruit trees, just some by the looks of it maybe picked for their fruit, others purely around for decoration. You think you see like lemons, oranges, what have you, lots of citrusy stuff. A little bit of a smell lingers in the air that's quite appealing, but the human woman just leads you towards a large pair of double doors, opens it, and brings you inside. Is someone going to say something? I thought I heard something.
I was just switching my VC.
Okay. In that case, you can go ahead, walk inside a large foyer area of this estate. It is incredibly well maintained by the looks of it. Very ornate. This is rich people area. This is a whole lot of money went into designing it and maintaining it. You can see a large set of stairs on the far end of this floor that looks like it curls up, like it splits and curls up towards the second floor. From what you can tell, you can see doors on your left and right, which appear to go to other parts of the estate. You are not entirely sure. Along with small sitting area in the middle. You think for maybe visitors. You can see like a table in the middle with what appears to be snacks of some kind. Housewarming compliments. You aren't sure, maybe. You also note to your left, like alongside foyer cadenza, you see a large painting of two individuals. One human man, tannish skin, salt and pepper hair, and that leads into a large salt and peppered beard, but well maintained. Big build, very well dressed, from what you can tell. Nobility of some kind, maybe a background in either manual labor or soldiering. You aren't sure. Sitting next to him in the picture appears to be beautiful woman. From what you can tell, looks to be half elven. Long black hair, very calm smile, just very ornate, very beautiful, but simple. The human woman who led you in will hurriedly tell you, "Please wait here. Lady Irma should be arriving shortly." And she will just bolt off into another room, and you are left alone in this foyer for a certain amount of time. Would you like to do anything?
Did she seem frightened when she mentioned Lady Irma, or when she ran off, or just hurried?
Not frightened, hurried, like she has a lot to do.
I'm gonna just look around the room while we wait, see if I see anything off.
You go ahead looking around. The place looks well maintained and is pretty nice. Your nose does pick up on the scent of the snacks and cookies on the sitting area table, and those smell pretty good.
Hmm. I will help myself to one.
You can go ahead, pick one up, put it in your mouth, and there is a mix of both strong sweetness, but expertly mixed with a tanginess, sourness. You immediately think maybe some of the lemons and oranges, what have you, other citrusy fruits were used in the making of this cookie. It is amazing.
Delicious.
Yeah. Anyone else want to do anything? Discuss amongst yourselves? It's up to you.
I assume there's a fireplace probably somewhere.
There's a small fireplace towards the right side of the room.
Wunderbar. And that's where my guy would be heading, and he would more or less nonstop complain about the mud and wet clothing as he starts scraping shit off by the fire.
All right. Do Today or Heliaros want to do anything, or shall we move on? It's up to you.
I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm a little lost.
How so? How can I clear this up?
So we met in town, followed this lady through a dark and dreary swamp, suddenly came across a rather nice plantation, and now we're inside in the foyer.
Correct.
Sorry, it was just really fast.
I didn't want to bog you down with you all meet at a tavern, so sorry about that. That's on me. Yeah. Anything else?
Do I get any feeling that it's just us in this room, or is there any feeling of being watched, or...
You don't get a feeling of being watched currently. No, it feels like just you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, last call. Anything else? Otherwise, we shall move on.
I'll take another cookie.
You are free to take another cookie. It is also delicious. In that case, you can go ahead, and as you do so, you do hear a female voice speak and say, "I am glad you appreciate them." As you see walking down the stairs, what appears to be half elven woman, beautiful, looks to be middle aged maybe, hard to tell with elves and half elves, but with a very calm smile on her face. I did make a generated picture for this because I figured it'd be fun. And this woman matches the image of the woman in the large painting to the left when you first entered. She will go ahead and say, I have practiced with that particular recipe, but I'm glad for the honest assessment. She will.
They're very good.
Oh, go ahead.
They're very good.
She keeps a very warm smile on her face, and she says, "I'm glad to hear it. My name is Irma, and I would be most grateful for assistance. If I may ask for your names, for due courtesy.
I'd go
My
ahead and
name is
stand up, give a deep bow, introduce myself, very gruff, gravelly voice. Very, very calmly, Brooks, no nonsense. Teddy Bear at your service. I believe we're here to solve some sort of robbery.
Lady Irma will nod, saying, "Indeed, you might be." Anyone else want to introduce their character?
Lady Irma. My name is Soren, and it is a pleasure to be here to assist you.
She will.
And I am Play.
She nods towards both of you. Understanding look. Last but not least, what about our last party member?
Lady, Heliaris.
She notes the brief introduction and keeps things professional. Very well. She will plainly state, "I will make things simple and state that I had returned from a long trip only 2 nights ago and found my room and home to have been ransacked, as it appears. From what I have gathered, particular items of importance were taken from me, and I would be willing to pay considerable sums to have them returned, if at all possible." She will go ahead, invite you to follow her, and she will lead you up the stairs towards the second floor. As she explains, you can see past the stairs a large glass window that looks into what you think is a courtyard that is, again, also very beautifully well maintained from a maintenance structure and architectural structure, and in terms of like the plant life and just overall fauna and flora, very beautiful. Looking in the interior, you see various bits of antiques, memorabilia, artwork, all sorts of stuff that scream wealth. It is immaculate to say the least. You can see paintings, furniture, a suit of armor set on a stand. This is impressive stuff. Regardless, she can keep going, lest you take any interest in anything, and lead you towards a large set of double doors that she can go ahead, open, and inside you see a very large room. You think definitely bedroom, definitely rich person bedroom, and definitely one that has seen some kinds of damage. You can see in the back what appears to be a large essentially wall of windows that look to the outside, with various pieces of glass smashed and shattered, with some of it on the floor. You can see what appears to be a chaotic cluster of debris, things strewn about, tossed around, what have you. It is a curious sight, to say the least. And among them, just standing tall, in arms crossed in a sort of huffed position, appears to be a very large black dragonborn man, just standing, looking about, not really doing much. Sees all of you enter, and sort of gives a nod to Miss Irma. She will go ahead and plainly state, I have left the room as is to keep it undisturbed for the time being, and had some help already present for what may come, but regardless, whatever you can do to help would be most appreciated. She will turn towards the Black Dragonborn and say, they will be assisting in this endeavor, Sturgis. Do not worry. The large Black Dragonborn man, presumably Sturgis, will just sort of give a gruff huff and just keep watch. You are currently in what you presume to be a crime scene. What do you do?
Pardon me, but what exactly was taken?
Irma will go ahead and list out many of things: expensive pieces of jewelry, some fine clothing, other other items, expensive perfumes, all sorts of stuff. She does list them all out very meticulously. By the looks of it, she keeps track of her own stuff. The last thing she notes, however, is something of most importance. The other things she can live without, but this last one, she explicitly states she wants back above all else. She explains that she had something commissioned to be delivered here, with Sturgis being the last person to help deliver it. A large wooden cubic box, 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. From what she explains, apparently magical, engraved with runes, and not forged, crafted by dwarven craftsmen. Sorry, stumble over my own words. And crafted by dwarven craftsmen of exceptional skill and arcane ability. She plainly states that finding that is of the most importance. Everything else, if you get those back, even better. But she wants her box back, explicitly.
And does she describe it in such a way that I would be familiar with it? Like, if I were to try to locate it, I could do that?
Yes, with enough prying, she could explain some finer details to you. And she would explain that she had it custom made, so there's nothing particularly like it in the world currently. So, one of a kind item.
Okay. I will jot down all the information she gives me about it.
Good to know. Good to know. Again, from what they told you, they have left the room undisturbed as is, with Sturgis here just keeping watch. And yeah, I will say with a passive 20, Soren, you do pick up on a particular note of interest, that being Irma, by the looks of it, very beautiful half-elven woman. You do know it's bits of, again, with the 15 you would be able to pick up that she does have a decent amount of makeup on her face, but with a 20 you can piece together that it's makeup specifically designed to cover up, signs of fatigue and exhaustion. You can tell looking by her, Lady Irma is well put together, but for some reason she is keeping up appearances and looks tired.
Okay.
Again, with a passive of 20, that'll do it. But regardless, what else do you guys consider?
This Sturgis guy, he's like the house security guy, like head of security type deal.
Irma will say he is an associate of hers, not head of security, but she does contract him from time to time whenever needed. So he has been here ever since delivering the box. Well, not ever since delivering the box. He delivered the box, left to do errands, and came back not long after Irma did. So, by the looks of it, no one was present when this incident occurred.
Would it be fair to assume that they have done a a general investigation on their own as to like where the entry point was, what may or may not have been used to break in, and so on?
From
I don't know if it's just me. I don't see a map.
From what Irma says, and Sturgis will speak up saying, I did some checking around myself. This place was turned into a fucking shit show, so I cannot make heads or tails from this shit. He is a very grumpy lad, to say the least, but from what he can tell, he did his best, can't really make sense of it. You get the feeling this is not exactly his forte.
And you said nobody was in the house when it happened, not even members of her staff?
She will say, I unfortunately have had my staff stretched thin, as it were. On the one night, no one was here. You can sense she has a sense of regrets or like wish she hadn't left it completely alone, but is what it is. So, unfortunately, literally no witnesses or anyone around to stop it.
And was this known information that she and all of her staff would be gone, or?
She says, no, it shouldn't have been.
So how'd they get in?
I assume it was
More
internal.
importantly, how did they get out?
You can see by the general area, it's hard to tell. You can see footprint in some here and there, but there's a feeling of randomness, either randomness to it, deliberate or otherwise, that makes it hard to tell. It looks like they could have tried leaving. They could have tried leaving through the doors. They could have tried leaving through the window. How they came in, how they got out. It's a bit of a mess.
Would teleportation be an option?
Possibly. You have no way to ascertain one way or the other. Irma will say she doesn't have any strong enchantments on her room in particular, so it is entirely possible. Though, given what you see, maybe not. But good thinking, wizard man. Good thinking.
Do the footprints indicate any sort of size or weight to whoever might have done it?
With a passive perception of 20, you can discern there are multiple sizes, multiple sets of tracks, and you believe maybe two smaller race creatures, or the very least at least one smaller race, one larger race, maybe multiple of each. If you want to try to discern more details intently, you would have to try some investigation checks or check something else. It's up to you.
Investigation check.
Roll for it. See what you get. If anyone would like to help or come up with other ideas, that's also fine.
My investigation is not good.
I could either assist, possibly giving her an advantage, or I could roll. I got a decent modifier.
It's up to you guys. How do you want to do it?
We could each roll one, or
I guess we could and use the average.
All right.
okay.
In that case, both of you roll investigation. See what you get.
22.
22. God dang. That is damn good. With a 22, your more analytical mind, Dwayne, goes ahead, pieces everything put together thanks to Zoran pointing things out. Zoran makes a sort of mental map of all the information. You start trying to piece things together. You gather a lot. One being, there's a definite sense of randomness to all of it, but not deliberate in a way. You immediately go about just discerning what appears, from what you can tell, 4 sets of footprints. 4 different creatures came in through here. And given the way things were going about, you think they were trying to cover their tracks by either deliberately making a mess or literally just using the nice carpet to wipe off their muddy boots. So, at the very least, they might have entered the estate from somewhere with enough mud to warrant their boots getting enough mud. So there is that. You could try to trace that. The second thing of note is, seems to have been just running around grabbing whatever they could and just bouncing. And given that,
Was there no mud?
Uh,
Was there no mud tracked through the rest of the house?
from what you can tell, no. Given large amounts of mud on the floor, you think maybe these perpetrators might have just used the carpet to just clean their boots then and there. So if they did go through the house, it would be unlikely they would have left any tracks. However, by the looks of it, again with a 22, again that'll do it. Dwayne, you do piece together they most certainly did enter through the window. The door was probably opened at some points, but by the looks of it, the large windows were the primary method of both entry and exit. Given how smashed it was, you think not so. It doesn't feel random in the sense of let's just smash all the glass. More of they there were multiple attempts to smash the glass to get both in and out. It's just many of them were failures. So you're starting to put a profile on these perpetrators and thieves of being either really random or really bad. You can't really tell. But you do figure if they came in from the window, that's where the trail leads. Again, you roll.
Is there any visible distress on the window, as if something heavy was pulled through it?
You do see large, you do see larger areas of larger holes in the window, and you think, with you going about and having Dwayne explain this, you think, imagining a two cube box, just imagine forcing it through. You do imagine that would make the most sense.
And by looking out the
So,
window, would we see footprints outside?
You think that would be the
uh,
most logical case, but you would have to go out and check yourself. But judging by the looks of it,
again, I'm a little confused. I asked how they got in, then you said I couldn't figure it out, and there's this giant hole in the window.
I should explain myself better. You would not be able from from the start. You would not be able to immediately put things together, given how chaotic the scene looked. But with thinking things through and checking the finer details, you would then be able to deduce what the actual most likely course of events was. That's on me. I should have done better. My bad. Sorry.
So, from what we can tell, people came in, smashed the window, grabbed a bunch of crap, ran back out the window.
Despite the chaotic nature of the room, it appears the answer is simple. Just needed finer tuning.
And based on our current observations and details of what has been taken, does it seem like this was more of a smash and grab, like just take whatever's shiny pretty much and get the fuck out type deal?
Given the itinerary of what was deemed missing, you think that might have been the case.
Big box to carry for a random smash and grab.
Perhaps.
Well, based on the description
Is
of
it
it,
visibly valuable?
I would imagine so, based on the descriptions we have so far.
From the description of the
Fair to
box,
assume.
it is wooden, but there are lots of arcane sigils on it that would make it, at the very least, a definite curiosity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
With this
If I
newfound
broke into a random
insight,
house filled with expensive stuff, I'd probably steal the same thing. Something magical. Makes sense.
How big is the window?
the entire wall is covered with large windows that are in various states of disrepair. So, like as a whole, it's made of not intersections, but But individual large windows, I'd say it's around 30 foot wide. The window, the win- total, each window goes up to around 10 feet tall, but there's about six of them. So, yeah,
So I could easily just go through the window and hover down
you could.
and look at the ground below.
You very well could. Just don't step on any glass.
I got some sturdy boots. They should be fine.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. And yeah, I'll go out the window and just hover down since I have fly speed.
Fair enough. In that case, is there anything else you want to try to do or ask Irma or Sturgis? I'm at the rest of you guys while Dwayne is descending slowly.
I guess it's worth mentioning on my way down, I will be inspecting the wall to see like potential boot marks, scratches, or however they, if I can figure out how they got up.
I'm trying to reason whether or not the 22 you got would continue to this, or what if I'd have you make another roll. Flip a coin for it. Makes it funny.
I have a passive investigation of 16, if that helps.
Oh, with the 16, you think you see small scratches on the side of both the outside windowsill and on like some of the stonework, and you think could have been either maybe a small grappling hook, maybe some minor pitons. You aren't sure, but you aren't entirely sure, but there is a definite case to be made.
And do I get any sense that Irma or Sturgis are withholding any information?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Why can I not roll?
If rolling doesn't work, you can use another system and just tell me the result. That's always fine.
There we go. 15.
15. For what you can tell looking at them, there doesn't really seem to be any sort of signs of obfuscation, hiding anything, or lying. It seems to be pretty upfront with any and all of your questions.
Okay.
But yeah. Dwayne thinks he's got a trail. Heliaros and Today, what are you thinking?
You said the glass is outside the window on the ground?
There are pieces of glass outside, yes.
Is there glass inside?
Also, yes.
Okay. Can I look? I want to look out the window and look down at the wall.
All right. You can go ahead, seeing that by this point Dwayne has just brought himself down to the ground, and he can point out areas of interest towards you as well. And given your own abilities and expertise, you do think this could be very easily scalable with the right equipment. So it is very likely that the proposed method of entry would be the most likely one. Occam's razor and all that.
Given that the creatures were in varying size, I'd assume it's something that anyone of any size could do. So
Correct.
likely that it was pitons.
Very likely.
How far of a jump down is it?
It's about 30 feet. Well, not 30 feet. Closer to 20 feet. Again, this estate, it's only 2 floors, but they are very big floors, both in terms of height and just sheer width. So you could very easily go down or walk outside to where Dwayne now is, as Irma will tell Sturgis, I will remain here. Please assist them outside for the time being, whatever might be necessary. You hear Sturgis just sort of give a gruff, and is willing to lead you guys out to the outside section without having to jump outside the window, should you choose.
I probably should have asked earlier, or if I could before people are exiting, yell up to them to look at closer at the footprints to try and determine the difference in sizes and possibly a distinction.
From what you guys have gathered, there appears to be 4 tracks, 2 medium creatures, 2 small creatures. You want to try to do anything more than that? You could try another investigation, but it's up to you.
I guess it comes down to if they have any more they want to do up in the room. Well, I guess Dwayne would be spending his time to try and see if he can see if the tracks lead in any direction, or if there's like tracks coming from one direction and then leaving in another direction.
In that
Sort
case,
of it.
while you're there, Dwayne, investigation or perception. The rest of you guys, what are you doing? Are you following Sturgis?
I'll follow
Yeah, might
Sturgis.
as well head outside.
I'll follow him as well.
24.
God damn, that's good. Holy moly. Yeah, no, you just hone in and just given what information you gather, by the looks of it, a good amount of any traces of tracks, given that there were mud on their boots, you would assume it would to be out here, but given this particular area, you think maybe some of it might have been washed away by rain that came by. However, rain doesn't get rid of everything, and you just find the narrowest bits of trails of dirt impressed into the stone. You just focus and spot a trail that leads elsewhere on the estate grounds. Yeah, no, that's a 24. That's amazing. Good job. The rest of you by this point can find Dwayne just aiming his gaze at the ground with intensity. As, yeah, Dwayne, you got a trail.
I want to interrogate him.
You want to interrogate Dwayne? Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he looks nervous. He's looking at the ground. I want to ask him if he knows anything, but I want to do it like in an intimidating way.
If anything, he probably would just look more or less annoyed because his boots are wet.
Maybe. Worth a shot.
Do you want to roll intimidation, or are you just telling him? I don't know.
I want to roll intimidation.
You know, go for it. See what happens. It's funny.
21. 15 plus 6.
21. Dwayne, how intimidated are you by this very intense Eladrin just sort of looking at you while you're doing your work? It's fun.
I guess I would have to use insight in order to counter that, and considering I don't have any bonuses to that, I can't beat it.
I mean, truthfully, intimidating other party members doesn't really come up. But if you want to try to insight, again, I'll allow it.
Oh, I couldn't beat it either way. So, he might think that my guy is looking nervous while looking at the ground, even though he's just more or less annoyed about the boots being wet. But seeing this Eladrin's just glaring at him would probably kind of send a shiver down his spine, like, oh, what the hell is going on here? What'd I do?
But yeah.
What do you know?
Well, there's tracks going that way.
Well, let's follow him. What are we looking for?
After you.
In that case, with Dwayne pointing out the track trail, That's fun to say. The track trailed towards the rest of you, and with Sturgis helping guide you through the rest of the estate, you can see that the trail is again a little random. The way it goes about looks like it passes by different points of interest in the area, and again, a lot of this place is very beautifully well maintained. Lots of rooms of interest, like the house you see in Clue. Just oh, there's a billiards room. Oh, there's this room. But the trail keeps going, and eventually you do find yourselves towards the very back of the estate, from what you gather, and you see still a little bit wet from rainfall that occurred previously. Appears to be a cemetery, with in the far end of it connects straight towards the swamp that encompasses this estate. Sturgis has a bit of a nervous look on his face, but the trail goes right through here. At the very least, this is where it goes.
Can I just cast like a quick detect good and evil to make sure we're not about to walk into any undead?
I mean, if you want to, you can. Do you?
All right. Yes.
You go ahead and cast and find nothing of the sort. This place is free from any extraplanar entities or undead creatures. So that's good. You're safe.
Cool. I'm gonna walk on in then.
Alrighty. Again, I'd say you do have a passive perception of 20. Go you. You do spot that, thanks to Dwayne's help in understanding this trail, you do manage to parse through some of the mud while disturbed by rain and other elements. This still retains some semblance of a track, so there is that. You do also pick up on just a small glint in the ground that, out of curiosity, you go and check, picking it up, and you find a small coin of some kind. You see what looks like on one side an open palm with fingers curled a little bit, and on the other side what appears to be
What was on the first side?
oh, on one side of the coin is an open hand with fingers curled, with a little bit of coin in them. On the other hand, what appears to be a clasped hand holding a knife. So you do have a strange coin at your disposal.
Okay.
What you do with that is up to you.
Is anything about it? Is anything about it about its symbology like familiar to me in any way?
Make a history check or consult with your friends. Or both. That's up to you.
Okay.
I want to peer over her shoulder, see what she got.
I can use the help action to give you advantage on your history check.
Okay, my first roll was 10, and my second roll is 3. So 10.
Unfortunately, Soren, you can't really make sense of what this iconography might be. Heliaros, peering over your shoulder on the other hand, would know this from various connections and whatnots, being that this appears to be, if this is to be true, a symbol or mark of the Thieves Guild, group of different criminal organizations from cities the world over, different branches, what have you. It would be very interesting to find this in a place like this. I would say, given that you are a rogue, you would also immediately note that finding this here you would immediately think, oh, Thieves Guild work, and then you think, yeah, but they're known for professionalism, and this job does not scream professional. So again, thanks to being a rogue, you get this info for free. It's a peculiarity. Some connection maybe, coincidental, you are not sure, but certainly a point of interest.
This might be deliberate. I think they intentionally made it look unprofessional as to hide who they might be.
Possibly. You do not know. But you do have a Thieves Guild coin. That's a pretty good find.
Gonna tuck that away.
Alrighty. Oh, whoops. But yeah, while this is going on, Sturgis is just giving the place a look over, making sure things are right. Dwayne and Tede, what do you do while the others are looking over their own findings?
I'm gonna sit and watch Sturgis because this dude is either in on it or completely and totally incompetent.
All right, you can
Why
go.
not both?
You can go ahead checking things out, and you can see thanks to Soren pointing some things out. He also looks to have a level of exhaustion on him. Just he hides it with just sheer gruffness, and again, it's hard to tell when it comes to Black Dragonborns whether or not they're tired. But he has a look of nervousness around him as he inspects the area. It looks like he's making sure things are okay, like checking some tombstones, stuff like that, and breathes a minor sigh of relief as he will plainly go up to you two and say, I will tell you this once so you do not forget it. If whoever took Lady Irma's stuff went out through the swamp, they would be stupid to do so, but possibly easy enough to find. I recommend you do so quickly and don't fuck anything up. And he will very, very much get in your face and keep things a bit quiet and say, whoever these people were stupid enough not only to steal from her, but, and he puts this not lightly in the slightest, she values a lot of things. Her pride, her wealth, and most importantly, her family. And she takes insults very seriously. And pointing towards the area, it looks like there's a bit of some disturbance, possibly the thieves going through the place haphazardly. Not like too much overt damage, but you think maybe they might have knocked some things around, misdemeanors of whatnot, and Sturgis will state with utmost seriousness, find them or just get the box back, I don't care. But make sure you do it well, so Lady Irma won't be pissed off. Again, it is a startling sight to see this very large dragonborn man advise such levels of caution and haste. Make of that what you will.
To whom in particular did he say this?
Dwayne and Tede, since Soren and Heliaros were checking out the coin.
Would I have overheard any of that?
I mean, you do got to pass a perception of 20, so I'd say, yeah, fuck it, you could.
Okay. I just want to like get a read on like, is he afraid of Lady Irma or just really like loyal to her?
Make an insight check.
That's a 24.
God damn, that rolling really well. You can go ahead and get a feeling from him is that he respects her, but there is a level of fear, not so much as not like someone who is abusive, but someone who is someone not to make an enemy of, not to make angry.
Okay.
Again, you don't get a feeling of like, ooh, evil, but ooh, let's remain friendly. How about that? That sort of vibe. You cannot ascertain
So,
why.
like, she can definitely...
You cannot ascertain why. That would have to be a 25, but you do get the distinct feeling he speaks with genuine word of advice.
Okay. And are there any like mausoleums in the cemetery, or is it all just like tombstones?
There are a couple mausoleums, but from what you can tell, it looks like they appear to be untouched. So that's good.
Okay.
But yeah, you believe you have a trail that leads straight into the swamp, wherever these random or possibly genius thieves have gone. Is there anything you would like to do before venturing out?
Since I have a flying speed, could I shoot up into the sky and look around and see if I spot a point of interest in any direction other than the house we came from?
Uh, you by all means can fly up and try to do so, but I'll save you the roll. Given the thick nature of the swamp outside the estate, it's hard to find much sign of anything from above, unfortunately. Again, great thought, but the terrain does not allow it.
So if it's best off then, just moving forward.
Alrighty. Alrighty. In that case, you can all go ahead, venture into the swamp while Sturgis stays behind to keep watch and assist Lady Irma in whatever else she may need. You are on your own as you.
As,
Oh, oh, what are we going to say?
as we enter the swamp, is there any like obvious paths of travel? Not necessarily like trail of the thieves, but just like
No,
easier paths to travel that they might have taken.
unfortunately not. Again, good consideration, but nothing of the sort appears to be present.
Okay.
Regardless, you can go ahead and venture through. Spending some time traveling and walking, someone make a survival check to see how well your current traversal goes. Just to see.
Who's got the best survival, guys?
Mine's flat.
I've got a +3.
Flat.
Should I do it? I'll do
Yep.
it. Okay. 18.
18. Despite the harshness of the swamp, again, contrasting greatly from the pristine estate you had just left, it's a bit tricky to navigate, doing your best to avoid patches of mud that appear innocuous but are actually very large holes of water. But aside from that, you move at an ordinary pace, doing pretty fine, all things considered. I will say, with you, Soren, leading this group as a were, with your passive perception being high, you do find yourself in a fairly decent stretch of marshland, and do notes that you catch some signs of movement or activity within nearby stretch of water. I will undo this fog layer. You do catch some level of movement right around here. You think there might be creatures present.
Okay, I'm gonna just point it out.
We ain't here to really mess with the swamp fauna. They don't try to bite us. I say we just leave them alone.
I agree. Maybe just veer right of it.
Alrighty. In that case, thanks to being perceptive, you can go ahead and carefully walk by and just moving forward. And as you do note just inside, you do spot what appears to be wild large snakes, very large, possibly poisonous, just keeping in the water, but being aware that you are aware of them. Do not approach. That's good. I will say you do also hear a very large sort of, not so much a rumble, but a thump 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 from behind you that you think there might be other large creatures nearby. Whatever you do is up to you.
There's some weird looking snakes.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are.
Are those warthogs? um, I'm just gonna keep an eye around, maybe slow down to see if anybody with keener minds can spot anything.
You go.
Got the best score for it.
I don't think an 8 gives me a lot.
If you need me to smack something, I'm your guy. Need me to look for something?
Well, from what you guys gather, seems to be fine. Seems to be fine. You can move unimpeded, though. Thinking this area appears to be safe, though you do hear and spot from the corner of your eye as you guys continue along what you think to be a very large, possibly even giant crocodile-like creature far off in the distance. Just, whether or not you engage is up to you. Or go. It's your call.
And we all spot that?
I would say you guys could point it out to each other as you move along. I'd say thanks to walking, you'd be more closer towards the edge, thanks to Soren pointing out the potential dangers that you guys thankfully can walk around.
Yeah. Anything I see that's gonna potentially fuck us up, I'm probably going to just be like, let's not go there. Let's not go there. That's a snake.
Hey, good call.
Well, very much of a point in fighting the local fauna, so.
Knowing there's these filthy creatures around, my guy would fly up 20 feet.
Hey, you can in fact do
Leave
that.
the trouble on the ground to the people on the ground.
Hey, you got wings, use them. In that case, you can circumvent any potential dangers here entirely thanks to your powers of perception and methods of caution. In which case, you continue on for a little bit more time without near an issue. Though you do find yourself in an area where the swampland gets heavier and heavier with far less methods of traditional travel. More often than not, you merely have to go straight and make do with whatever you find, lest you start trying to swim in the mud. From there, you do find yourselves looking at a large encompassment, not encampment, a large grouping of
Embankment.
Sure, that works. Embankment of trees and whatnot that appear to be covered in white. What appears to be bits of string connecting and threading the area heavily, almost blanketing it. It is an interesting sight, to say the least, and there appears to be bits and pieces of it everywhere. Oh, wait, those are from characters from like a year ago. Ignore those guys.
We have friends.
Yeah, that was from a year ago. Ignore them.
And
So
we're
this-
still following the trail of these supposed thieves.
Yep. Unfortunately, going through this area seems to be the only particular method.
I'm gonna grab a torch and start torching them. Just hold the torch out in front of me, and cobwebs are flammable.
Okay then. You can just go ahead lighting a torch and just going for it. I believe I have a prop for this. Oh, I love using this. I only have the one. I get a fire because it's fun.
So this white stuff, did it look like spider webs? Or something
Indeed, it
else?
does. It looks like very big spider webs. By the looks of it, trying to traveling through directly is going to be a pain in the butt, but you can in fact go ahead and ignite them, thanks to the wonders of that is a torch. However, thanks to the immediate ignition, you just skip the formalities entirely. As Soren, you are the first one to notice bits of movement from the large trees above that begin to descend at a rapid pace as you see spiders, not tiny ones, giant ones that are now very much prized and pros towards all of you.
Oof. All right.
So,
Incoming.
roll initiative, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
You can just skip the formalities and jump right to it. It's funny.
8.
22.
21.
Alrighty. In that case, what do we get for today? All right. Roll initiative for these. All right, so, Soren, you're the first one to notice them. You're the first one to move. What do you do?
I will cast, for bonus action, I'll cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh. Dang, I did not make a weapon token. I will come up with something. Give me a second. Oh. Celestial token will be your spiritual weapon because it's funny. Where do you want to put it? I forget what the exact range for it is when you first summon it.
60 feet.
Yeah, 60 feet.
You can move and attack with it on the same turn as you spawn it.
I will put it towards the nearest, as close to the nearest spider as I can get.
You can do spider. Actually, you can do all of them, whichever one you choose.
Okay, then I'll do the one in the back.
Hey, spider A.
And then it immediately gets an attack with it, right?
I believe so. I believe the spell lets you do that.
Okay, so I don't do casters very often.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, you make an attack roll with it, from what I can tell. Ow.
Okay. 15.
Alrighty. 15 is a very nice hit, and wouldn't you know it, that does in fact hit. Roll me some damage.
Alright. 4 points of damage.
Hey, 4 points. Not bad at all. I would say, for flavor, what does your spiritual weapon take form as? For funsies.
Probably like a rusty pipe.
I like it. Alright. You just bonk the creature on the head. Well job. You still have your action. Spiritual weapon is only a bonus action. You can't do any other leveled spells, though, but anything
But
else?
I can do a cantrip, right?
You could do a cantrip, yes.
Toll the dead.
Alrighty. Have this sucker make a wisdom save. And that's a 7. Yeah, no, roll me some damage. D12s, because it did take damage.
Oh, right. Okay.
Roll high.
How many? Just one?
Just one.
Yeah. 1d12. Where's my d12? Wait, hold on.
I will let you guys know. The initiative after Soren is Heliaros today, Dwayne, and then the spiders. So, just letting you know.
That is 9 points of damage.
9 points. Hefty. Love it. This creature is looking hurt. The bonking from the divine rusty pipe is more of the opening act for the the necrotic energy that rings in its head, and as you watch some of its eyes just begin to shake and swirl in its head. Uh, Great job. Would you like to move anywhere, or that end your turn?
That will end my turn. I am staying as far away from the spiders as possible.
Hey, fair enough. Heliaros, what do you do? The fire is now
How
caught
far
on
can
to.
I like cut out to the side?
Oh, my bad. I missed that. Could you repeat
One.
that?
How far can I like come out to the side? I want to try to get out of the line of sight of the spiders.
You can move at as far as the map goes, and even a little bit further. So I will let you know. Owlbear does have measure tools and find path tools. Like for example, again, if Spider B wants to move 30 feet, I can have it move, and you can see how far a token can move. So if you want to use that, you can. Otherwise, you can basically move wherever. The white areas would be difficult terrain thanks to all the webs, though.
Okay.
In the top right is where the various selections are.
If I could get to work here. Keep getting disconnected here.
Yep. Have any questions? Go.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask.
Would I be able to move out of their line of sight at all? I can't really get it to stay up. I keep getting disconnected.
Oh. In terms of moving out of line of sight, you think you could move behind some trees. You could try to move behind your fellow party members, given they are bunched up. Whichever you choose to do, you do think if you make a successful stealth check, you should be able to hide without too much issue. Again,
I'm gonna start moving towards the tree and roll out.
all right. I should have added more tree
that's
tokens, but
abysmal.
I could say there's trees anywhere. So long as you make the stealth check, you should be fine. Mental note for the future.
13.
13. Let us see. The spiders. Looks like they don't really notice you. Perceptive they are not.
I still have my action, or
You
yeah,
still do.
action.
You still do.
Might have a bonus action, so I want to make a ranged stealth attack.
Alrighty. In that case, which one are you aiming towards? B, C, or A?
Am I on the left or right? Right.
You would currently be more towards the right. So, in terms of distance, B. In terms of distance, Spider C would technically be closer, if only slightly.
Yeah, I think we may aim for B.
Alrighty, B it is. Alright, in that case, roll me an attack with advantage.
My first hit.
I'm seeing 2 damage rolls, but not 2 attack rolls.
Yeah, I misclicked.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure. It happens.
21.
21 absolutely hits. Roll damage with sneak attack. Again, great job.
Who do I?
Dang it. Accidentally closed.
So far down.
16. Hefty. Love it. Soren, you watch as you double team Mollywop Spider A, and you watch as just a single arrow bolt just goes in towards one of the eyes of the nearby spiders, doing possibly more than you, as you watch Heliaros just aim, fire, do it with precision. It's like, this guy's good. You guys are good at this. But would you like to move, Helioros, or are you good where you are currently?
I'll let my turn there.
Hey, fair enough. Our paladin today, what would you like to do?
I am going to move to there. So about there with 30 feet, right?
Yeah, you can do that. No problemo.
And then that puts me within 10 feet of the spider.
That's 20 feet.
Meant to move within. Well, yeah, but I should have moved within 10 feet of the spider. There. Where was I? I was here, right?
You were right around here. Whoops.
I swear I measured this out.
Here.
30 feet. There we go. Oh no, I see what's going on. I was zoomed in close enough. Okay, well, I'm just gonna stand there and ready my action to whack a crap out of a spider.
Hey, you can hold your action should they approach. Not a bad consideration. Dwayne, what are you going to do?
All right. Oh, with my bonus action, I will summon my ethereal wand. And, for flavor text, pretty much looks like that. Somewhat transparent.
Neat.
And with that, I shall.
I will make a.
Yeah, fuck it. I hit Spider B with a firebolt.
All right, roll to hit. See if you make it.
That's a 20 to hit.
Dirty 20. That will in fact hit. Roll damage. Wow, you guys are doing great.
For 9 fire damage.
9 fire damage. I like it. I like it. Oh, you can see that the firebolt lands in the eye opposite to the one that has a bolt in it, and this giant spider is freaking out. It is very much in pain. Great job. Would you like to do anything else?
Yes. I will go up another 10. And I'll fly over here. So I'm a little bit closer.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. In that case, it is the giant spider's turn. Giant spider A will go ahead and I gotta double check. Oh, it has to be within 30 feet. So I'm gonna have it move. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll try to aim a web attack at one today. See if it hits. That's an 11. Today, as you ready your action, you manage to just barely dodge a just large string of web that would have encased you from Spider A. Thank goodness for that. Spider B, I will just break the DM screen for a second and say it has a single hit point. You guys mollywomp the shit out of it, so I'm gonna have it make a charisma save to see if it has the willpower to keep going. That's a 4. No, it does not. Spider B is going to flee at top speed. Whoop. It is effectively gone. Great job. Spider C, on the other hand, is going to move over here, deliberately staying on the webbing, and is. Let's see who it targets. For funsies.
You get an attack of opportunity.
It deliberately stayed out of your range.
I have 10-foot reach.
Oh, in that case, I didn't know that. Fuck it, go for it. Hit the son of a bitch.
Or not an attack of opportunity, sorry, my ready to action.
That's fair. That still hits. Yeah, no, roll damage. Go nuts. Great job. Again, it underestimated your abilities. AKA I did the same, but don't worry about that.
Bugbear got long arms.
Alright, 7 damage. Alrighty. It will go ahead, seeing that you managed to, hurt it with your quarterstaff, it will try to web you as well. Does an 18 hit?
18 hits.
Alright. You are not damaged, however, you are encased with webbing Spider-Man style and are currently restrained. You did manage to damage it, but it has used up its turn to stop you from moving. Aside from that, it's staying where it is. Soren, it's back to you again.
Bonus action, move my spiritual weapon and bonk Spider A again.
Hey, it's funny. I'll allow it. Roll to hit.
Do. 10.
10, unfortunately, does not hit as the divine rusty pipe glances off its exoskeleton and just lands into the mud and web below it. Actually, what I should have done is increase the fire because it's funny. So yeah, the fire will continue to spread each round. So yeah, the spiritual weapon unfortunately misses, but it's a good try anyway.
Then, for my action, Toll the Dead.
Same on Spider A. Just want to be sure.
Yes.
All right. It rolled a 16. What is your save?
13.
Unfortunate. Both of your attacks fail to damage it in any way, though it is certainly intrigued and very much concerned by your efforts to harm it. So there is that. Would you like to move, or are you staying where you are?
I am going to move 30 feet to the right because these spiders are coming closer and I don't like that.
Alrighty. Sorry, had to close that tab. I will say Owlbear does have a measure the path feature if you want to use that, or if you want me to move your character for you in any way, again, just let me know.
Yeah, please go ahead and move it.
Here.
This is my first time ever being on Owlbear, so.
That's fair. Again, like I said, you got any questions? Perfectly fine. Like, does this work for you? Whatever works for you is up to you.
Can they not get me in a single turn at that distance, or can I move farther?
You cannot move any farther. You got 30 feet.
Okay, then yeah, that works.
Right. In that case, next on the agenda is Heliaros. It's an interesting dilemma to say the least, but again, what do you do? Ow.
There's still one spider that hasn't been attacked at all, right?
Yep, that's Spider C. Actually, wait, no, double check.
I want to forget.
Yeah, I thought Teddy bonked that one.
Yeah, they've all been damaged to some degree. Spider B just straight up left because it was one hit from dying. A is more damaged of the two. So whatever you choose is up to you.
Is the fire spreading?
I might be able to
Yes.
target both.
The fire is spreading. It will increase every round.
All right, let me see what I can do. I'm gonna jinx Spider A.
Ooh. Does it have to make any rolls?
No, I think it just uses char. Oh wait, yeah. Save DC is 12 against charisma.
Right, charisma save for 12. It rolled a 3. Yeah. Right, it is now jinxed.
I'm going to attack the other spider with my short bow.
Alrighty, roll to hit Spider C. See what happens. Actually, I think I...
Oh, oops. I did not mean to do that. 14 to hit.
14 just hits. Great job. Roll damage.
9.
9 damage on C. That is impressive. Loving it. You go ahead. Just,
Am I still hidden?
no. After you made your attack last round, you became unhidden, so no sneak attack, unfortunately.
I'm gonna use my reaction here on the jinxed creature.
All right, so that's Spider A.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my Curse of the Debilitated, which is 1d12 necrotic damage. It's also gonna take a point here.
All right. Managing to hit both. That's impressive.
That's a 5.
5 damage is good damage. I like it. Both of these giant spiders are looking very hurt. You guys have put in the work. Loving it. Would you like to move, or is that all you're gonna do?
I'm gonna
Oh, what the? God. Fuck you, Discord. Sorry, I don't know why Discord just crapped itself on me. I missed whatever you might have said. Sorry.
just gonna try to move out of the line of sight of the spiders.
Alrighty. You can try to move as best you can if you so choose. Otherwise, we move on to today's turn. That is still fun to say.
Oh, my turn there.
All right, yeah. So today,
I'm gonna go ahead and make the strength check.
go ahead. Just flex as hard as you can, bodybuilder style.
And that's my action.
Right. You manage to flex as hard as you can, just ripping the webs right off of you. Both Spider A and Spider C just look at you with intensity of, yeah, sure, you haven't done the most damage, but you might be the biggest threat. So at the very least, you've made yourself very known. Great job. Would you like to move?
No, I'm good.
All right. Standing your ground. I like it. Dwayne, what are you doing?
A firebolt on C.
All right. Roll to hit. See what happens.
It's 23 to hit
Yeah, that'll hit all right.
for 5 damage.
5 damage. Fantastic. You watch as Spider C just gets hit by the bolt and just writhes in pain as the flame just burns away whatever hairs are on its body, cooking the endoskeleton from the inside out. Still alive, still kicking, but these creatures are very hurt. Incredibly hurt.
Alright, and I moved a little bit to the side. And that's my turn.
Alrighty, in that case, right, Spider A and Spider C, let's see what they do next. So the good news is their webs they cannot use their webs again. However, they are Tay, with your impressive display of strength, they're just going to try to attack you. Because, well, you're clearly the big boss around here. So, let's see what happens. That's a natural 2. And that's 24. So you only take 1 attack. Unfortunately, the first one does deal a hefty 10 damage.
Okay.
And you need to make a Constitution saving throw. That's good. Ooh, that's very good. You only take an additional 5 points of damage as you realize these spiders are also incredibly poisonous. As the venom, as the poison just seeps into your system, you manage to fight it off. You were not poisoned, but you do take an additional 5 damage on top of the original 10. So there is that. However, that's all the spiders can do. Their focus is on you. Whatever you make of that is up to you. In that case, Next up, top of the new round as the fire continues to get way bigger. Spider A, if it stays where it is going to get cooked. Soren, what are you thinking of doing?
Move my spiritual weapon, bonk Spider A.
All right.
For my bonus action.
Right.
With a 16 to hit.
16 does hit. And why is my computer messing up on me? There we go. Yeah, no. 16 hit, roll damage.
And that is 9 damage.
9. Tay, you watch as the divine rusty pipe just comes up behind Spider A and just bonks it right on the head in the most comedic of fashions. And you watch as its skull just caves in and it collapses on the ground immediately. Bonk. Yeah, no, Spider A is dead. Your teammate has your back.
And then I will toll the dead on Spider C.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, it got a 19, so Spider C is still kicking, but still. Hey, still great.
Okay. And stay where I'm at.
Alrighty. In that case, Heliaros, what do? You would have sneak attack on an attack since your friend is engaged in combat with Spider C.
Can I use acrobatics to climb the tree I'm using as cover?
Yeah, you could do that. Roll acrobatics for me. Just for funsies. Ooh, natural.
Roll a 1.
Natural 1. You can go ahead try to climb up with your acrobatics, but the humidity of the area plus any residual webs just make it climbing impossible, and you end up falling prone on your back. You only spend 5 movement to try and get up, but it would cost you an extra 15 to get back up to standing. So you don't take any damage, but didn't look as cool as you thought it would.
Gonna stand back up here and try to hide again.
Alrighty. Make a stealth check.
20 there.
Yeah, 20, you are confident you are hidden. You thankfully still have your action since your acrobatics check was part of your movement.
Can I make a stealth attack on Spider C?
You can certainly try. Roll to hit with advantage.
$15.
Well,
Roll another one after that.
Thankfully, you are well hidden, as a 15 is most certainly going to hit. Roll attack with sneak attack.
Only
20. Beautiful. You go ahead just aiming at this spider, looking to aim it towards one of the eyes, maybe hit multiple with the same shot. You just release the bolt fire, it just pierces through. Today you get covered in a bit of the spider's blood and other gunk as you watch the spider just drop dead from the bolt embedded in its head. Yeah, no. You guys did great, my god. So, the good news is, you guys cleaned house without nary an issue. The bad news is, that fire is, very big now. You don't think it'll spread beyond the webs, but you don't think it'll exactly be subtle either.
Subtlety's never my strong point.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Is anyone in desperate need of healing?
The only one that took damage was Tay.
I don't think I got hit at all.
No, I'm good.
Alright, cool. Let me know if that changes.
I mean,
Hopefully no one saw me fall.
They
I
might
feel
have.
like I definitely.
At the very least, Dwayne saw you fall. I don't know if anyone else. Maybe they did.
With my passive perception of 20, would I have seen him fall?
Probably, yeah.
I'm not going to mention it.
But yeah. Yeah.
I think I would argue that Dwayne would be more preoccupied with soaking in the heat, reminding him of home.
Well, in that case, the flame is now engulfed the entirety of this area of webbing. What you do at this point is beyond you. You believe, given that's what you were following before the webs were ignited, is that by the looks of it, again thanks to fucking 20 perception, that by the looks of it, the trail would have gone underneath the webs. Likely, these webs were made very, very just recently. So, with the webs gone, you think you should be able to follow the trail without nary any issue. What you do at this point is up to you.
Do I perceive any threats nearby now that we've dealt with the spiders, or?
I'd say you go ahead perceiving around, and you go ahead looking up, checking about. You do spot falling out of one of the trees and landing right in the flames is another giant spider that didn't make it to the fight and is now being cooked alive. Not a threat to anyone. You do swear
Okay.
you also hear something else, but given the flames, you can't really make sense of it. But yeah, do you guys wait for the flames to continue, or do you just try to continue on the path? Or take a break? I don't know. It's up to you. Again, choices.
Time to go.
Is there a discernible path around the flames, or would it be easier to just let them
Unfortunately
burn
not.
and then?
Unfortunately, there's no discernible path or access to the the tracks you were following outside of the currently now on fire webs.
Could I guess, spam some ray of frost in order to contain the flames?
You can certainly
Oh, I
try.
thought we were in a fairly damp swamp.
You are in a damp swamp, but the webbing is very flammable. So you don't. It's not in terms of like, oh, this is going to set the entire swamp on fire, but just this localized area of web is most certainly on fire.
Just walk around it.
Right? In that case, you can't ignore it. You have to traverse through very heavy mud and water coming up to your chest at some points, except for Dwayne, who just flies above all of you. And you can just you can move on without nary an issue should you so choose, leaving your unintentional arson force fires aside, just moving on once again. Since thanks to the fire and other thanks to the fire, I would say someone make another survival check to get back on track in a timely manner. See how this turns out.
Me again, or somebody else want to give it a go?
You've got the best survival.
Okay. That's a natural 1 for a total of 4.
With a natural 1 for a total of 4. Unfortunately, thanks to the fire and being disoriented by the swamp itself, it takes you far longer than you would ever care to admit on finding the tracks again. You do lose a good hour or two trying to find the tracks again, and it's you do find them, but it's a little embarrassing and it stings your pride just a little bit.
I'm a city kid, guys. I don't belong in a swamp.
You and me both.
Regardless, you can continue on without nary any. Well, I wouldn't say without any issue. Again, many a mosquito tries to siphon you for your nutrients, but you can keep walking on, and after a good extra hour or two, you Soren being the one to lead this charge, as it were, you do spot what you think appears to be a minor clearing, as it were. Still large areas of water here and there, still mushy mud, but you think a large enough area with that is sparse of dense foliage and tree life that you think could be of note. And looking about, you point this out to everyone, and you do find what appears to be something resembling a camp, from what you can tell. There is
Okay.
there are bits of furniture, rudimentary things placed here, there, and everywhere in a very haphazard fashion. Little to none of it matching. Looks like people might have used this place to either camp out, hang out, do whatever. It's a bit finicky. I will say, for sort of legend on the map screen. Green are for exceptionally large trees. Blue is for particularly notable bodies of water that would be difficult terrain. Brown brown is for any sort of exceptional points of stuff, junk, what have you, that could be interacted with in many ways. And I just realized I forgot one because I'm an idiot.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I gotta run. I got a family emergency that just popped up. Sorry, just you can play my character. Just feel free to smite with him. You know how to play Paladin.
Dang. Well, that sucks. Poor guy.
It's unfortunate.
Well, hope it gets resolved well. In that case, fix that. So yeah, from what you guys see, well, this is what you guys see. What do you do?
As always, look around for immediate threats.
You don't note any sort of threats. What you do note is a distinct lack of people. You do see like tables with some leftover food that looks like it's been out in the elements for some time now. You can't determine how much. You see pitcher of ale still half full or half empty, depending on how you view it. Still, you see what looks like small bits of string here and there, tied between trees to serve as rudimentary laundry lines. Again, place seems lived in, but it also seems currently empty. You do spot in the back what appears to be, on the right, a large collection of chests, boxes, assortments of all sorts of shit. On the left, what appears to be a large carriage of some kind, with stuff adorning it as part of its official construction, along with all sorts of other large random stuff placed on and around it. Looks like might have been used as rudimentary living space, as it were. Aside from that, the only other immediate thing of note is you see in the middle what appears to be like a large collection of brush, vine, twigs, plants, what have you, in a very large mound, as it were.
Like the start of a bonfire, or
Not that.
like, does it look deliberate? Does it look like deliberate?
You don't really see any sort of deliberateness to it. You think like, oh, bonfire, but no, it doesn't look like it, like the vines, tree branches, what have you. It doesn't look like they're dry enough to be used for burning purposes. It's just a very large, and again, very large mound. So again, it's notable, but it's there. For what purpose, cannot immediately deduce. But yeah.
Okay.
Since I'm 30 feet up, do I have a clear angle on it?
You can see it, yes.
Because it seems pretty much out of place. And you're saying we don't see any signs of people or other creatures.
Currently, no.
All right, that large pile, ray of frost, if I may.
Okay. In that case, you can go ahead launching a ray of frost right towards it. Roll to hit. Make sure you don't whiff and just hit a tree behind it.
Yikes, that's a 12.
12. You go ahead whiff hitting a table on the other side and causing just large icicles to fall. A little embarrassing, but hey, never little target practice never hurt anyone.
Can I'm gonna cast Detect Good, Evil, and Good again. I'm gonna get within 30 feet of the center of this camp and cast it.
Hey,
I'll move 25 feet this way.
fair enough. Fair enough. You go ahead. Casting detect evil and good, and given the general area, you detect no signs of anything that would show up on it. No extraplanar entities or undead seem to come to mind.
Okay.
How tall would you say this little mound is?
10 feet, give or take.
Okay, so if I were to fly over here, then I should be perfectly in range to pop my mage hand down there and start trying to pull some of the leaves and stuff away.
You can go ahead doing so, pulling bits and pieces of twigs here and there. Not much really occurs aside from that. In the meantime, Heliaros and Soren, what are you guys thinking of doing?
I'm gonna make my way towards that carriage.
Kind of out of my area of expertise. I'm just gonna quietly look around.
Alrighty. In that case, you can go ahead, just bippity boppity boop, all the way towards the back, and there is in fact a carriage. Looking at it, you can see all sorts of knickknacks and stuff strewn about. It does very much look like someone renovated this to be a living quarters or space of some kind. You can go ahead, peek inside. Looks like there's small square table or something of some kind with a cloth over it. You can see an unfinished game of cards by the looks of it on top. Some ale here and there. Yeah, it's very much lived in, to say the least.
Anything interesting?
Make a perception
Anything
or
valuable?
investigation. Make an investigation check. See what happens.
Perception's so much better, though.
Well, perception lets you see things. Investigation lets you deduce things.
6.
You can't really make heads or tails of this chaotic living space, to say the least. It is absolutely a mess. But make of it what you will. In that case, Heliaros, what are you thinking aside from just looking around? You do. While Soren is checking out the carriage, there is the tables and other furniture around the general area in the middle. There's also the large pile, as it were, of chests, junk, and other stuff. Those are the only real major things of note, aside from Dwayne poking at this mound with his mage hand.
Could I do some investigations on my own?
By all means, go ahead. What are you doing?
I want to look around, see if there's anything like valuable I could pick up. Maybe check the chests.
Make an investigation check. See what you can find.
That's it.
Ooh. Man, that sucks. Unfortunately, you're a little overwhelmed by both just the nature of this swamp and the fact that there's just so much stuff. It's you spend more time just trying to pull things off of this pile and in something resembling an organized manner before you can even actually check what any of them would be, what they might have in them, stuff like that. Actually, here, I'll move you over here so it makes more sense. So unfortunately, yeah, that's all you really got. I will say, unfortunately, since Tao left, I have to do Tay for him. I'll have him use his lay on hands to heal himself. So
I was gonna suggest that because he seemed a little bit inquisitive back at the compound, so he might, if you want, he could potentially try and see if he can pick up on where people may have gone or how long since people were here last.
That's a good point. I have had him roll. That's a 12 on investigation. So I'll just tell you guys, the party, that from what can be gathered, it's hard to tell. It looks like there were definitely people here, most certainly recently, but this place is a mess, and it's hard to make sense of anything, especially with being swampland exposed to the elements. And any traces of what might have happened may very well easily have been missed or just lost. So it's hard to tell. I will say, by this point or so, with your perpetual poking at this mound with your mage hand, pulling bits and pieces of twig, brush, vine, and whatever off of it, after a certain point, Dwayne, your mage hand goes ahead to pull on something and can pull no more. As you think you notice something move from within the mound. Soren, getting a peek outside and seeing the mound yourself, you can very naturally perceive that something is amiss, as you also detect the slightest bits of motion. However, those slightest bits of motion belie what is truly happening, as you watch as the mound begins to grow taller, as it were. And you see that it begins to sort of stretch up from its initial positioning, and you watch as bits and pieces fall off, and other parts of it begin to move around in on it itself. Vines and twigs moving in different places, and you watch as the mound itself appears to ingratiate elements of different parts of the flora around it, and just assimilate and just make the crudest approximation of a large, massive humanoid shape. And you can immediately tell something is very wrong. Roll initiative for me.
11.
9.
7. Another nat 1 for me.
Dang. Oh man, that sucks. Well, in that case, to start off combat, Teddy Bear will go first. Unfortunately, since he was in the back, he will have to spend his action to dash. Getting right up in its face. So, there is that. And it is now the Abomination Seedling's turn. It will attack today twice. You watch as one of its arms is just essentially a large club, as it were, of just different bits of brush, twig, and whatnot. One of them slams into the ground in front of today, managing to avoid him, but you can see the slam into the mud. That is definitely heavy. You then watch as it lifts its arm from the mud and then just backhand swings into today, hitting him square in the chest for that's cocked for 6 damage. So yeah, this is most certainly a big creature, certainly a potentially very very strong creature. But that's all it does. Its movements appear to be sluggish and slow. Dwayne, what do you do?
Alright. I will hit it with a witch bolt.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
It's a 21.
That absolutely hits. Roll damage.
That's 20 damage.
Is it?
It says 31, but it should only be 20. Because I can reactivate it as a bonus action next turn, so it counted that damage too. It's only 20.
Ah, that makes more sense. Thank you very much. So again, even so, 20 damage. My God, you rolled really well. You just go ahead, focusing the arcane energy onto this creature and just blasting it with electricity as you watch the outermost bits and the bits that had direct contact with your strike just begin to char from the sheer electrical force, and the rest of it just zapping in and around its body. Yeah, no, great job. You certainly now have its attention among today. Anything else you would like to do?
Move it a little bit further back.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry. In that case, Soren, it is your turn next. You see this creature, as it were, reveal itself or present itself, whatever it may be. What do you do?
Let's see, how far am I?
There is
I will toll the dead.
Alrighty. Let me fix that real quick. That is a 10. No, it fails.
Yes. And it's already been damaged, so that's a D12.
Indeed it is.
Right?
Yep.
Six points of damage.
6. Though not as overt and striking as the witch bolt from Dwayne, you watch as most certainly the necrotic energy from the cantrip just rings in the creature's whatever constitutes for a head. So yeah, that most certainly worked. Would you like to move? Do you have any bonus actions? It's up to you.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Fair enough. And last in the turn order, Heliaros. You are currently by the junk pile. You got to move a little bit to get a view past the large tree, but what do you do?
Am I in the immediate line of sight?
You are technically
Sorry?
just within immediate line of sight. You could hide. Even without hiding, since Tay is engaged in combat with it, you would still get the sneak attack, but you wouldn't get advantage on the strike. So what you do is up to you.
I think I'll take my action to make the sneak attack, and I'm going to just end it there after that.
Alrighty, in that case, roll to hit.
Ooh, 13.
13, unfortunately, is not enough. As the bolt lands in one section of the brush that makes up this creature's body, it looks like it did not strike true in any meaningful way, unfortunately. You get the feeling this thing is not intentionally deceptive in its structure, but hitting it where it hurts, it's going to take a bit more.
Yeah, I'll just end my turn there then.
Right.
Not much I can really do.
All right, well, if you insist. In that case, it is today's turn. And I'll have him attack with his quarterstaff. See what happens. Oh, that's a 19. My goodness. Oh wait. Oh, granted, I wasn't expecting to play his character, so I didn't even know what it does. Sacred weapon. Okay, actually no. In that case, he will go ahead using his channel divinity to to imbue his weapon with divine energy. So, hey, that's good. And bonus action, what else does he have? Compelled. Yeah, no, fuck it. He's just going to do compelled duel to force the creature to focus on him and him alone. Let's see. So that is a wisdom saving throw. Unfortunately, the creature succeeded because it rolled a flat 13 against a DC of 13. So, fortunately, the creature is not compelled to duel him. Is what it is. But yeah, in that case, it is now the seedling's turn. It will just go ahead and smack him for one. Actually, wait, no. He has a DC. Tay has a DC of 18. He is perfectly fine. You guys watch as this creature just clumsily swings its club-like arm around to try and hit Tay. While the hits do connect, the armor just disperses the damage to the points of negligibility. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Dwayne, what do you do?
All right. Guess we might as well fire a chromatic orb in acid.
All right, roll to hit. Unfortunately not.
That's a 12 plus. I was gonna add the point from the 1, but I guess it's still not enough.
Well, truthfully,
So
I admit,
I'm guessing a 13 would not hit.
I still haven't entirely figured out how the wand feature works. It would increase the
It
rate.
builds up stack. Yeah, to hit. So for every spell slot that I use, rounded down on the number wise, it builds up a stack like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. I can apply that to the roll I make.
All right.
So I was gonna add the 1 to it from my previous spell, but I'm pretty sure a 13 doesn't hit.
The 13 does not hit, from what you can tell.
Okay. Either way, I'll use my bonus action to trigger the damage on the Witch Bolt. That is still active. So let me roll the damage for that. Only 8.
8 damage is not bad at all. Go ahead watching as the creature is very much shocked, to say the least. Would you like to move, or are you good where you are?
I'm good where I am.
Alrighty. Alrighty. In that case, Soren, you're up next.
Okay. Unsatisfied with the damage my Toll the Dead did, I'm going to take my short bow and fire.
Alright, roll to hit.
Five.
Nope. You go ahead, pulling out your bow. You think, this is a large creature, I can hit it, and your arrow just goes over its head. Again, like a joke no one gets, it just went over completely.
Then I will sigh and just bemoan the fact that I hate nature.
Alright.
And end my turn.
Alright. Alrighty. Helioros, do you also hate nature? Let's find out. What do you do?
I'm gonna jinx this thing. I feel like I've been having bad luck, so I want to transfer that over here.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. It's a charisma save, correct?
Yeah, 12.
It got a 1. So yeah, no. It's jinxed.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my my last jinx point here. It's gonna be 1d12 damage. Let me find it. This is also my reaction. It's 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. You go ahead damaging it with the sheer power of your misfortune curse, and yeah, you're fairly certain that certainly worked. You watch it begin to just shiver, shake, wake its whole body just moving in an awkward pattern as it does so. You think you did a great job, and then you see it begins to shake and shift even more in a fashion that is concerning, to say the least. Today, we'll go ahead and just try to strike. And that's a 9. Wow, I feel really bad for him. Unfortunately, he goes ahead, tries to hit it, but since the creature, as it were, is shaking and shifting in an unnatural fashion, the strike glances off and fails to impact anything. You all watch as bits and pieces of the brush, vine, twigs, what have you, that just make up this creature's body, some of it begins to fall off, other parts begin to get assimilated back into its body, and you watch as its shape just changes as a whole. You watch as the other arm that wasn't being used, the one arm that wasn't a giant club. You watch as it forms a more cylindrical-esque shape, and from the area you can see, it's a peculiar shape that seems fairly, I don't want to say standard, but something resembling deliberate form. As it will go ahead and let me do a double check on what this does. 30. Actually, no. It will go ahead, move. Just let's see. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will take an attack of opportunity from Tay, because, well, that's what it does. And unfortunately, Tay fails to hit. I feel really bad for him. And you watch, Dwayne, you watch as it approaches you. It is slow in its movements, but you watch as it raises its other arm that's in its cylindrical shape, and you swear you see a faint light or something from it as you just watch as a burst of projectiles appears at you. I need you to make a dex saving throw, as it will use its bullet seed cannon.
The tree has a gun?
The tree is the gun.
Run away, back to the city.
I'm not seeing it on my screen. What's that dex save looking like, Dwayne?
You shooting at me?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear that part. Okay. That's a 5.
That is unfortunately not enough. I gotta roll damage for this. See how much you take. You are a lucky son of a bitch. You only take 7 damage, the literal minimum. It's 4.
Right,
I roll 4 d4s. You got 1 on all of them. That is a. That's a what? 1 in 32. No, it's 4, 16, 64. At least over 1 in 200 chance. You are a very lucky man. So only 7 damage.
Sweet.
However, you do need to make a con save.
I have to make a con. Yeah. And I'm gonna consume 3 of the charges that are built up. So that's a +3 on top of what else I have on the con. That's a 5.
Nope.
+3 for an 8.
Nope. Your witch bolt drops. Which is most unfortunate.
So 8 is not more than 7. Or is it 10 that's like the lowest?
10 is the minimum you need to hit. And you didn't make that. So unfortunately, your witch bolt drops, and for until the end of your next turn, you are poisoned.
I have resistance to poison, but okay.
The poison damage, not the poison effect.
I have advantage against being poisoned.
This is an automatic sort of poison, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Okay.
Again, good thing to keep in mind, but unfortunately, thankfully, this only lasts until the end of your next turn, which is, speaking of, right now. You are poisoned. What do you do?
All right. Losing that witch bolt was pretty sad. I guess we do another Hail Mary chromatic orb at it.
Yeah, go for it. See what happens.
For acid. That's a nat 20.
Oh,
For 26 total.
Love it. Roll me some damage. Roll me that critical damage.
16 acid damage, acid critical damage 17, it says. So 16 plus 17 is what it says.
Just double checking. The base damage for a chromatic orb is 2d8, correct?
No, at my level is 48.
It is?
Level 2, yeah.
I will admit, I've never actually used chromatic orbs, so I don't entirely know.
I'm looking at it right now here. I'll take a screenshot of you.
Huh. The damage increases by 1d8 for each spell slot above level 1. Just making sure. Again, truthfully, again, I will fully admit, I've never actually used chromatic orb, so I don't know how the hell it works. I should know these things, but I'm not perfect. But regardless, so again, on my screen, it's saying the base damage is 3d8, so you would actually be doing 68 damage, not 8d8 damage, unless you upcast it.
Hang on, I'll show you. Trying to get paint to work. It's being weird.
well, regardless, yeah, I'll I'll figure out
There you go.
I'll figure out that damage in a moment because again, yeah.
So you can see the damage there that it showed, and you can see down on the chromatic orb is 48 for acid.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, in that case, that would be 33 points of damage. I'm still gonna look into that later, but regardless, yeah. Still, that is an impressive feat nonetheless. You just covered the thing in acid that just begins immediately corroding and dissolving parts of its outer layer, whatever it may be, given all the bits and pieces of the area it's assimilated into itself, which is impressive to say the least. You watch as it begins to shiver and shake once again, and you all watch as its body, parts of it fall off even more. Other parts get assimilated, and it just shifts and changes once again. The form looking more compact, as it were, as you watch as the sort of area resembling a chest or a torso sort of bulges before spurting out bits and pieces of gunk, and you watch as something just flops, and just hangs from the torso itself. As you see what appears to be the remains of the upper torso of a humanoid, what appears to be a man, the face just frozen in a look of fear, very much dead. His chest very much open, rib cage exposed, and is tied from the inside of the torso cavity through the vines and whatever bits of plant life that make up this creature are basically tethering the upper half of this man's corpse to its body. He watches the vines just seep and grow and just wrap around the insides of the man's torso, breaking off bits of the ribs, just fusing with them and just bursting them out and into a sort of second maw, as it were, making the ribs appear to look like sharp teeth. As you just hear a rumbling sound from it, and watch as this sort of noxious gas appears around the creature's body. Along with that, you see other pieces of just body parts, limbs, what have you, falling off this creature's body onto the ground, bits and pieces from different corpses. Yeah, you think you might have found where the people went. So yeah, Soren, it's your turn.
Okay.
What do you do?
All right. Seeing that this horrific creature has a death cylinder, I'm going to hold up my symbol of the Moon Mother and call down my own death cylinder by casting Moonbeam on its horrible, horrible ass.
A horrible ass indeed. I like it. I will. How big is the moonbeam? 10 feet? 20 feet?
It is a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
For some reason, the owl bear will not let me do 5 feet. There we go. 5 feet. We'll say, here's a 5-foot moonbeam right there.
And it needs when it enters the area for the first time or starts its turn, it has to do a Constitution save.
Alrighty.
And yeah, just on the horrible, horrible tree. And then I will move as far as I can to the back of the carriage, so that hopefully its awful, awful self does not see me.
Alrighty. Alrighty. In that case, when you say back, do you mean behind the carriage or within the interior of the carriage? Just want to be sure.
Behind it.
Alrighty. In that case, you can squeeze through, just standing on the near the back of the carriage on the edge of a very large body of water. Yeah, no, that's certainly going to be interesting. Iliaros, you have also seen this horrible sight. What do you do?
I'm pretty intrigued. I wanna like take a second to study it.
Will that be your action?
We're still in combat, right?
We are still in combat, yeah.
I'm gonna attack it while I'm at it.
Alrighty, you will not get sneak attacked because Tay is too far away and Dwayne is in the air. So unless you hide, you won't get the sneak attack.
Is there any chance I could hide?
Yeah, you could. There are very large trees near you that are free to hide behind.
I'm gonna move towards the closest tree and take my action to hide. Or yeah, I'm gonna hide here
Alrighty,
before I attack.
alrighty. Roll me a stealth check.
It's a decent roll, 20.
You are fairly certain you are well hidden. Fairly certain.
I'm gonna make a stealth ranged attack. My short bow.
Alrighty, roll with advantage. Hit the son of a bitch.
Um, oh, I don't even need advantage. I just realized because it's still jinxed technically,
Oh,
and that's a 15 to hit.
15? Let me double check something. 15, unfortunately, does not hit.
Hmm.
I mean, technically, since you are hidden, you automatically get advantage. So if you want to re-roll, go for it.
That's a 20. 20 to
That,
hit.
that most certainly hits. Roll damage.
Uh, 15
16.
or
Hefty.
16.
Loving it. Ow. Shit. You go ahead. Seeing this creature's physiology is definitely changing shape frequently. You go ahead aiming to where the most likely spot would be for it to actually deal any lasting damage. And you just go ahead aiming towards the back of what would be the closest thing to a knee and just hit it right there. Not enough to slow it down, but most certainly deal it plenty of harm. It is very much hurting. The area where you hit it looks like it's shaking, struggling to keep its form. Great job. Is that all you do this turn?
Hey, I'm gonna end turn there.
Alrighty. In that case, it is back to Tay's turn. He will go ahead, keeping his distance, I believe. Yeah, he has a quarterstaff, and that does allow him to keep his distance as they're just within the 5-foot range around this creature's body. The noxious gas is thick and visible, so Tay very much keeps himself just outside the range, but still enough to where he can hit the creature with the end of his quarterstaff. Jesus, I've rolled so poorly for him. I feel so bad. But he still fails to hit. Man, I feel terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm gonna have him do compelled duel again. See if that does anything. It also fails. I'm so glad he's not here. Otherwise, I would feel terrible. Right. In that case, it is the Abomination's turn once again.
Tay might have needed to make a Constitution save if he entered Moonbeam's radius.
Well, you said Moonbeam
Keep in
was
mind,
a
he
5-foot
is
radius,
long-limbed.
correct? It's a 5-foot radius, which means it's a 10-foot diameter. I don't know if he entered it or not. I'm just putting it out there because I don't think it differentiates. Like, it doesn't say like a creature I choose or whatever. It just says a creature.
Yeah,
that is true.
that's
However,
anything.
I think Tay would stay out of the path of the Moonbeam. So again, that's a good point to consider that I completely forgot about. So that's on me.
So
He
everyone
does
else.
have he has the reach feature, correct?
Yeah, he does have a quarterstaff that does allow him to hit from 10 feet instead of 5.
Yeah, he could stay out of it reasonably.
And I don't know if you're taking into account as a bugbear, he's long-limbed, so he gets an extra 5 feet to his melee attacks.
Truthfully, I've never dealt with bugbears before, so hey, I've learned something new today.
Yeah, they're pretty dope that way.
Indeed.
The bugbear rogue in my last campaign.
Well, in that case, it is the seedling's turn. Once again, it is going to. Actually, let's see what it does.
And it is inside Moonbeam's radius, right?
That it is. It's a what kind of save is it? Just want to be sure.
Constitution 13.
It rolled a
If it's a shape changer, it makes it a disadvantage. I don't know if that counts as a shape changer.
It does not appear to count, and it did roll a 14.
Okay.
So is that half damage?
Half damage. Okay. So 2d10. 8 damage, so 4.
4 damage. All right. You can see the damage is very. While the creature does resist the beam, it doesn't look like the damage itself would be effective. So, hey, there is that. But however, the seedling will go ahead, aim, focus, and fire another cannon strike at Dwayne because, well, it regained its bullet seed. So yeah, make another save for me.
Dex.
Yep.
Evil
Dex save.
Pokemon.
Not 20 for 22.
Ooh. In that case, you only take half the damage. You lucky bastard. And good for you, because that would have been hefty damage. You, instead of 16 damage, you only take 8.
Alright.
Again, thankfully you are flying, and thankfully you made the save, so you are not even poisoned. So that is good. It will just continue to stand where it is. You don't sense really much of in terms of intellect from this creature. But Dwayne, it is your turn. What do you do?
Alright. Am I within attack of opportunity range from this thing?
By the looks of it, considering how high up you are, no.
Alright. Just to be safe, I'll move back a little bit further. I'm gonna use. Fuck it, I gotta go hard. Fire another witch bolt.
All right, roll to hit.
Using that.
You are not poisoned, so you don't have disadvantage.
Shit.
Nope. Unfortunately, your witch bolt goes wide and lands into the mud. Again, the electricity very quickly dispersing amongst the water and then disappearing entirely.
Well, at least I used the free use from the magic initiate. So saved us some spell slot.
No. Sometimes it is what it is. Soren, what do you do? You are currently 55 feet away.
Okay. Pull the dead.
Good old reliable. It rolled a 9.
So that's a D12. Wow. 2 damage.
2. Yikes. You can see the damage would very much be effective. However, unfortunately, it just kind of sort of maybe. Oh, I forgot to have it move out of the moonbeam's radius. That's on me. But yeah, unfortunately, the damage would be effective, but it just wasn't all that much. Unfortunately, would you like to do anything with your bonus
And it moved
action, or keep moving? It's up to you. Again, thankfully, it's all the way
and
over
it
there.
moved out of the moonbeam.
All right. In that case, would
Can't move moonbeam as a bonus, so no. I'm
Oh.
done. I will continue to hide behind the cart.
Right. You are very safe behind the cart. In that case,
Until it's to blow it up. Probably.
all right. In that case, Heliaros, what are you thinking of doing? This creature is seeming like it can't do much from a distance, aside from that cannon of its. Make of it what you will. Mukai, you there? Huh. Not sure what to make of that in this particular instance, all things considered.
Okay, you are muted in case you don't know. Either way, I guess this gives me an opportunity to get something to drink.
I mean, again, if it's not your turn, you're free to go get whatever drinks you might need. Because again, well, stuff happens. Or he disconnected. I don't know. Maybe Discord's been acting weird for him as well.
I'm going to step away for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go right ahead. I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on. If not, I might have to play his character for him again. I don't like doing that, but it is what it is.
I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Literally just got a message from Mukai. Apparently his phone died, and that's what he was using for Discord. Yeah, stuff happens. It's understandable. I've had many a session where Discord will literally just kick me out randomly. And might not be able to make it back. That sucks.
All right.
Sometimes stuff happens, games go awry. You try to learn to live with it. All right. Well, fortunately, the party just got cut down to 2. I feel bad, but what are you gonna do, right? So, in that case, for Helios' turn, we'll have him try and stealth and do another sneak attack. Stealth 15 is, in fact, just enough. Let's see. Let me make sure all this is good to go. $18 will, in fact, hit.
Well, it does seem like we're on the final stretch, so it's not a big deal, I don't think.
Maybe. Still, for 18 damage, that is, in fact, impressive. My goodness. The two of you can watch as another bolt just comes from Helios that just goes ahead and just mollywops the Abomination Seedling's other knee. You watch as the other leg just sort of gives out, and you just watch as the creature just shift, shake, shiver, and change in another manner. It's concerning to say the least, but regardless, make of it what you will. Top of the next round, Tay's turn. Will go ahead, try to attack for certain this time, for absolutely certain, from a safe distance, managing to land a actually really good heavy hit. Unfortunately, I had him burn through 2 of his spell slots, so he's going to use his last one for a good old-fashioned Divine Smite. Not showing up on here. Hey, I swear. Yep, there we go. An extra 2d8 damage. So for a hefty 22 damage, despite not managing to land much hits before, you watch as Tay just takes his glowing quarterstaff and just whacks this thing in its approximation for head, just shoving it off clean entirely. And you think, fantastic. You watch as the creature's body shifts and shakes once more, as its legs just burn. Oh god. Oh, I'm gonna be pissed. Fuck you, Discord. What the hell is happening? And Discord craps on me once again. Jesus. Way to kill the moment, stupid computer program. Ugh. Anywho, so, Tay clean hits this creature in what appears to be its head, knocking it off entirely. But the creature shifts and change once again as you watch it becomes more and more compact. And Soren, part of you is scared because its appearance looks still massive, but even more humanoid and just more dense. And as it regrows or grows a new facsimile for a head, you watch as it goes ahead and just you watch as its head turns, gets a view of the entire area, and you swear it gets a look at you. You go ahead and watch as it, while still looking at you, swings its club-like arm with even more ferocity than before at Tay, going for 3 strikes against him, faster than before.
Oh!
However, I rolled a fucking 11, 6, and an 8 as you watch as its gaze is focused on you, forcing it to fail all 3 of its strikes against Tay.
Okay.
I can never roll great. Why are my rolls always terrible? I will never know. I don't know. Dwayne, what do you do?
I'm in trouble. I'm gonna.
Really kills the scary moment when all 3 attacks miss. Jesus Christ.
You. Alright, so from over here, hurting pretty bad. I'm going again, attempt a witch bolt.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
Ah, that's a 9.
Nope. You go ahead trying to launch another witch bolt. Again, firing it. You fire through the moonbeam, but unfortunately causes its direction to swerve off and land right into a piece of furniture. Unfortunately, there's a very crispy stool, but nothing else, unfortunately.
That is not a great combination of words.
Very crispy stool, aka night after Taco Bell. But regardless, is that all you do?
Yep. Moving up here and shooting that. Yep. That's all I can do for now.
All right, Soren, what do you do?
Okay. I'm going to use my action to move Moonbeam back on top of the demon tree.
All right, the demon tree is now being moonbeamed. It's a con save, correct?
At the start of its turn.
At the start of its turn. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
Isn't it when it enters the zone too?
I mean, unless you want to also take damage when I move it, I would be okay with that. Then I'm going to move just a couple feet to the left to hopefully get out of its line of sight and just crouch down and just hate life.
Alrighty. In that case, Heliaros will go ahead doing the tried and true hide and shoot method. See how it works. That's a 26 on his hiding. My god, he is very good at that.
Not to rules lawyer or anything, but it does say when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts his turn there, it does get hit. So technically, when you move the beam on it, it will technically take the damage.
Fair enough. I'll allow it. Unfortunately, that is a natural 20. I'm very sorry.
Still have damage.
Still have damage. Roll it.
So 14 radiant, halved to 7.
7 damage is pretty good, but you watch as the creature just continues to persist. Despite being incredibly damaged, it looks fiercer than it ever has before. Again, still half a torso dangling from it like a second maw. Again, just the ribs moving like undulating teeth as the vines just move around it and just sort of close in and out and in and out. Regardless, Heliaros tries to hide and use his short bow, but the creature looks both tougher and more agile than before, dodging the arrow that you thought would hit. So that's not good. So yeah, that's the end of his turn, unfortunately. Tay's turn once again. He's just going to try and strike, make himself the primary target while you guys do your thing. He rolled a fucking 12. I can't get this poor bugbear to roll that well. I'm so sorry. Again, it's not something you want to ever say as a DM, but I'm glad he's not here because this would be so embarrassing to deal with. My poor guy. But yeah. So yeah, the abomination will focus entirely on Tay. And yeah. That's 3 strikes.
It's the start of its turn?
That is the start of its turn, so I will have it make a save. Let's see, that is a 13.
Constitution 13, so beats it. So half damage again.
Yep.
7 half to 3?
3 damage.
That's how that works, right?
Again, you feel like you're putting in the work. This creature should not still be standing, yet it continues to persist. Regardless, Dwayne, what are you thinking? Honestly, since it's just you two guys, if you guys just want to do things out of order or go at the same time, I don't care. Because again, unfortunately, with 2 people missing, it kind of ruins the flow. What are you going to do?
I'm good either way. Fuck. Alright. Final spell slot. Witchbolt. Let's go.
Right, roll to hit.
This time, come on. 19.
19 just hits. You swear this creature's physicality has changed, but you managed to land another strike.
Okay, that's 11.
11 damage. Again, beautiful. You just watch as the electricity pumps through it even fiercer than before, but it just continues to keep standing in a form that defies all reason that would make any semblance of sense. You're certain the amount of damage you've dealt to this thing should destroy it completely. And yet it continues to keep going. Again, I got a Divine Smite to the skull for 22 damage, and yet it kept going. So make of it what you will. Soren, what are you thinking?
Okay, so it didn't move out of the radius this time, right?
No, it did not.
Okay, so in that case, I will toll the dead.
Alright, that's a wisdom save of 14, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sometimes old reliable doesn't always work, but hey, it is what it is. Heliaros will once again do his sneak attack strikes, and rolling exceptionally well. Lands a 16. This is impeccable once again. You watch as he lands it right in this creature's head, and you get the feeling this creature is on the verge of collapsing at this point. It should not be able to keep moving. But it continues to stand. Despite that, its body shivers and shakes once more, and you fear what might happen next as it grows more compact, yet denser and fiercer in its appearance. Sir Ted Day Bear will try to strike once again, actually managing to land a solid hit for a good 6 damage.
Nice.
Again, you get the feeling just a little bit more and this creature will fall. However, its name of abomination comes to the foremost evermore, as it will strike today. That's a natural 1. Wow, that's not as
Con save, please.
Not as intimidating. It will go.
Con save, please.
Oh, right. I forgot. That's on me. That's an 18.
Okay. So 9 reduced to 4.
Hey, that's pretty good. Again, still standing, but it does consider it. And unfortunately, you watch as it slams now 4 times into Tay. Just hits him with his arm, with the arm, slams into him twice. You watch as Tay just knocks to the ground, KO'd right there, taking 18 points of damage, which is 1 bad. The worst thing you see as you watch as the vines and bits that make up its body start to wrap around Tay and just pick him up, as Tay is unconscious but now grappled within its form. The second thing you note is Soren, you watch just peeking from outside the corner. You watch this thing just aims towards your direction, towards the carriage, and hauls ass. Literally, you watch it sprint with literally unnatural speed as you watch as its legs literally are breaking down as it moves, literally trying to assimilate, like parts of it falling off and try to reassimilate in real time as it gets up right in your face with Tay's unconscious form right in front of you. So,
Whoa!
there's that. And considering while it may be clumsy, you don't know if you stand much of a chance if Tay was taken out without that much effort. Dwayne, your friend's in trouble. What do you do?
All right. Well, forward 10. I'm going to go up 10.
You are well above the carriage. Don't worry.
All right. First, I'm going to trigger the bonus action on the Witch Bolt just to get some extra damage there. For a measly 4 damage.
4 damage is good. You get the feeling you are pushing this creature towards death. You have to push like it's the last 10 feet of a marathon.
All right, and then I'm gonna throw a firebolt at it.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
Check what charges. I'm gonna use the 3 charges I have. And it's probably the last ones too, because I don't have more specialists. Son of a bitch, 12 plus 3, 15.
Nope. The creature's hide has become too, well, not much of a hide. It's just sheer body is too thick of the vines, now humid with additional mud to help protect it from your flames, as it notes your presence but just continues to focus. And you can see Soren just looking at it, what resembles a head. You can swear you can see pits of the vines are starting to form the nightmarish facsimile of a face. Speaking of, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay. Bonus action healing word, Teddy.
All right. Roll to heal.
Word. First level healing word. Six points of healing.
Tay is conscious but grappled in this creature's body. So that's good. What do you do?
Then for my action, I'm going to move my moonbeam 60 feet over the top of the carriage and try not to get myself or Teddy in it. So like right here-ish.
Moonbeam can move to 60 feet. My God, you can do that. You clever person.
Yes.
Very clever. You very carefully do your best to. You figured it's gonna hit Tay, but you think you can. Yeah, you think he can handle it. As you go ahead and move the moonbeam, and I will have the creature make a save. That is a natural 1. Roll me some.
Yes! Full damage!
Burn it.
15 points of radiant damage!
You go ahead, bringing the moonbeam down on top of the carriage, and just enough for it to peer over the top of the carriage and onto this creature, hitting Tay in the process, but sacrifices are worth it, and just blast it with radiant energy as you watch as it stretches out its club-like arm towards you, and you watch as the vines around it begin to form the resemblance of an arm with fingers just aiming towards your skull, and you watch as the vines just fall to the ground. The twigs burning, the vines falling, and it just clumps and falls and just splat, splat, splat. The man's torso hanging from its own facsimile of a chest just falls to the ground as well, and it just collapses into a pile of twigs and brush and just and is just poofed on the ground.
Oh, thank God.
It's dead. It's dead. It's good. We're good.
You detect no movement with your passive perception. Tay is out cold again, but don't worry about it.
Are we out of combat now?
You are out of combat. You feel like there is no
let
more danger.
The moonbeam sit there for its duration, and then I'll do another first level healing words on Teddy.
Today is
Four.
back on his feet.
So that's 7 points.
Technically better than when he was previously. Alrighty. So
I am spells.
that was a terrifying experience. What do you guys do now?
Cry.
Alrighty, Soren, you take a moment to cry. Dwayne, what do you do? Well, here today and Heliaros are just going to soak in what just happened. What do you do?
He would kind of like casually go land over where the loot stuff is, kind of murmuring to himself, like, a three-way split would have been better, but start looking through the stuff here.
You can go ahead and find, thanks to Heliaros sorting things out as best he could, you can find small chests, big chests, crates, barrels, all full of random stuff from bits of clothing, bits of random objects, some of which looks like, ooh, this could have been taken from someone fancy. Could have been useful. You find bits of jewelry, bits of gold. You do know, it's given your high intelligence, some of the stuff present does match the descriptions of the items that were taken. Some of them match the descriptions of the items that were taken from Lady Irma. So you think you might have figured out where the thieves have went. Soren, given the rest of the what remains of the corpses you see in front of you, you think you know where the people themselves are.
Mm-hmm.
Make of that what you will. I will say, with your passive perception, you do spot a little something amongst the brush that was once this creature. Looking inside, you see what appears to be a very oddly shaped nut, seed, what have you.
Okay. I guess I'll sort of just poke at it with like the end of my warhammer. See if does it seem familiar to me?
It does not seem
Or is it-
familiar. You go ahead, poke it, and you watch as it shakes and shivers a little bit, and you watch as a small vine shoots out of it, hits your arm, and tries to dig itself in there.
Okay, just gonna smack it with my warhammer.
You go ahead smashing this seed or nut, whatever, with as much force as you can. Just crack the biggest force you can. You swear you hear a small, tiny, unhuman scream, as it were. Just a before it just fades, and you watch as it just turns brown, black, gray, and then just fades to dust. So that happened.
Thanks, I hate it.
I know. But yeah, so at the very least, Dwayne, you have found the items the minor items Lady Irma had lost, along with all sorts of other stuff that you could think might make you a very wealthy man, but not the main thing you were hired to find. That being the big cubic box.
I rolled a 19 for investigation.
With the 19 for investigation, again, you find all sorts of stuff. None of it matches the particular item you were looking for, but you can start taking all sorts of stuff of monetary value straight for yourself, should you so choose, should no one stop you.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely stuff little bits and bobs in my various pockets, and I'll put the stuff that belong to the lady, or that we believe belong to the lady, to the side.
Alrighty.
Earlier, when I was in the carriage, you said there was like a square table with a cloth over it.
I did say that, yes.
Did it look like it was hollow underneath, like an actual table? Or does it look like something solid with a cloth over it?
It didn't look hollow. That's all you could tell. You would have to check.
I'm gonna go in there and pull the cloth off of that.
You go ahead, pulling the cloth off as the remains of whatever card game was happening fly everywhere. And underneath, you see a very notable large cubic wooden box with arcane engravings all across it.
Okay. Found it!
Guess I'll stumble my way over. Pretty much half dead.
Yeah, it appears you guys have found everything you were looking for and then some.
Cool. Should we rest and then head back in the morning, or should we try to brave the swamp with injured people and a cleric with no spells?
That does depend.
I guess
Given the extra time you guys spent, thanks to getting a little lost, you would have to try to get back through the night should you choose to do so. However, thanks to Dwayne's very good investigation, you do note you guys could make use of this camp as a safety in the swamp, complete with some leftover rations and other things, should you choose to do so.
Yeah. Camping here for the night. It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Get some rest, and I would like to try and do an Arcana check, maybe, to try and see if I can determine what the box is.
Hey, by all means, make an Arcana check and take a long rest. You've earned it.
So 24.
24. That is mighty impressive. Again, not a 25, but still good. With a 24, you can gather, by the looks of it, the primary constituent schools of magic present on these sigils appears to be conjuration.
Oh.
So, again, you get the feeling, given from what you can see, might be similar to items you have heard of in terms of some sort of either expansion of space, pocket spaces, or connecting spaces. You do not know the exact nature, but you do figure it's something within that realm. So again, great job.
And it could be very valuable.
It could be very valuable, considering Irma told you she had it specifically commissioned, so technically speaking, one of a kind. So, yeah, there's that.
I take it the box is too big for me to just fly off into the moonlight with it.
You could, in so much that it would require both of your hands. It's 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, so there is that.
Certainly tempting. I'll stick to the mission. I already filled my pockets.
There are plenty to fill your pockets with. So, Norin, you watch as Dwayne and then subsequently Tay and Helio Rose might have helped themselves to all sorts of treasures, knickknacks, and what have you. Take whatever you want. Or don't. It's your call.
Pick through some of what's left over.
Hey.
Got a goal that needs money. Also, if watches are required for a long rest, I'll take the first one.
But no, you can go ahead and long rest without any real issue.
Okay, cool. Guess in the morning we'll just start heading back.
Yeah.
Yeah. by all means, you can very easily with at least some level of difficulty, retrace your steps all the way back to the estate of Lady Irma, managing to avoid any dangers. You find yourselves back there within a decent amount of time, getting a bit closer to lunch, brunch, what have you. But as you do so, you do know there are far more servants and about taking care of things on the estate grounds. You get the feeling they were out doing things when you guys had shown up. You can go ahead, consult one of them, and they will lead you to Lady Irma, who is, by the looks of it, speaking with some more of the servants, along with doing some sort of preparation. However, upon seeing all of you, Soren, you immediately note she has a look of just a wave of relief just fall off of her body. And she will plainly state, I am quite grateful, and nary a moment too soon, I suppose. I trust that it was sufficient enough, if I may ask for whatever may have occurred. Please inform me. Whatever you decide to tell her is up to you.
The swamp is fucked.
Yep.
Do you leave it at that or just keep going? Otherwise, it's up to you. Does not matter.
Yeah, that's pretty much just Soren's feelings. Is the swamp is fucked.
Yeah, I think Dwayne probably would spend more or less an excessive amount of complaining about the swamp, the wetness, the dampness, the smells, the bugs, and
There.
eventually get to like, oh yeah, there was an evil tree thing that ate people.
Irma will be genuinely perturbed by your mention of evil tree thing, as a genuine confusion, and sort of, She makes a mental note of that, and says, "Well, regardless, I am grateful nonetheless." And she will order servants to come on by. She gives them a quick message as they head off, and then very quickly come back with small sacks of gold for each of you. And you hands each of you one. You can peek inside and find 500 gold pieces per bag. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
Nice.
Kind of shake the bag after looking at her, kind of like squinting, like this is a bit light, don't you think?
Do you try to persuade her?
Yeah, why not?
Give it your best shot.
That's an 18.
18. She will go ahead and say, I believed I deemed it sufficient. I do admit I, in my haste, did not set a particular price for your aid beforehand. But regardless, I feel this should be more than satisfactory. Sort of leaving it as is. Again, notes your points, but keeps the payment as it were. But regardless, she will say, as you can see, I am busy with preparations, so as thanks for your aid, you are free to stay around for the festivities if you so choose. But if you wish to return to your own daily needs, you're free to do so. DM speak. If you wish to stick around for a little epilogue, as it were, you can. If not, we can end the game here.
Well, now I'm curious of what the box is gonna sign.
Okay, fuck it. In that case, you can stick around a bit. Whether or not you help with preparations as the servants are all going about setting things up is up to you. But after some time, you do see that people come by the estate, and more people, and more people. A lot of people are arriving here at the estate in the middle of a swamp that you're fairly certain most people don't even know exists. But regardless, here they are. There is a lot of people all discussing, doing about things. Again, this feels like there's a whole bunch of families, people of different generations, all sorts of people of different races. The primary one of the primary things to note for you, Soren, is a large amount of black dragonborn, similar to Sturgis. You're like, that's a lot of them. Like in terms of just the sheer proportionality compared to all the races present. And you do note there are people from all sorts of major cities around the world. You think possibly high positions of power, or at the very least decent positions of wealth. Sort of a, this is a very connected, sort of intriguing situation. And judging by various conversations and what you gather, just doing basic conversation, this appears to be a family reunion. As lots of people from different walks of life connected all by sharing some sort of from heritage, married into this large network of people, what have you. Whatever you make of it is up to you. But you do note that after some time, you do spot a whole bunch of kids that were brought in as part of the families, all playing around, doing their thing. And you do see Lady Irma with one of her servants present helping carry the box, does come approach, and you watch as one of the kids turns, spots her, and the rest of her spot her, and you hear them all yell out, Graham! And they all just start running towards her, just giving her hugs, saying hello, trying to show things off to her, just the biggest smiles on their faces, and she just warmingly greets all of them, knows all of them by name, and there's a definite sense of she very much again considers them greatly, considering Sturgis did mention that she values her family above all else. This seems to be very much in line. And you watch as the servant places the wooden box down. Irma seems to speak something, maybe some sort of arcane command word, and you watch as the lid of the box pops open. And she goes ahead, puts her hand aside, and pulls out a teddy bear and hands it to one of the kids. And then a small wooden sword. And then another object, and another, and you realize it's a large magical toy box with gifts for all of these children.
That's precious.
All of the kids are just happy, having a great time. However you enjoy the festivities is up to you. Again, the food is delicious. The people here, connections aplenty around the world, should you pursue that, but however you go about it is up to you. Regardless, again, with a passive perception of 20 of all things, I would say, Soren, you do spot Sturgis minding his own business elsewhere. You do see a human woman approach him, and a small child with draconic features on him, and you see his sort of gruff demeanor softens a little bit, and you get the feeling, oh, he is also part of the family reunion. That explains a lot. And you can see you think he's having a quiet time with his family as well.
That's precious.
But yeah.
All right, pretty nice.
Yeah. Do you just enjoy the festivities or do anything else in particular?
Stick around for a little bit, but then just, slink away and make my way back to civilization.
Hey, fair enough. Deciding not to get too involved, just enjoying a few hors d'oeuvres here and there before quietly slipping away. You and the rest of your party of strangers, now connected through shared trauma from plant monsters, as it were, can go and return back to civilization. You all, while you're walking through the marshland, as the nice area of the estate returns back to normal muddy area ground and just humid air, you're you go through your treasure, just divvying it all up, having some fun. Soren, one thing you do note, and Dwayne, you also spot this, is a small pouch in your pocket that you don't recall picking up from your treasures. You can go ahead opening it up, and you find a deck of cards. You don't recall when, or where you could have obtained this, but regardless, it is a very curious thing. Whatever you do with it is up to you, for better or worse.
Just regular cards?
You
Something
son of
tells
a-
you that's not the case.
Oh boy. You can't put this in my hands.
They're not in your hands, they're in Soren's.
Alright, yeah. Good luck with that.
So, like, above table, this is a deck of many things, right?
What? No, Noble, don't say anything.
Only one way to find out.
Hmm. 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 Should I? Should I? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'll open them up. Things don't usually just appear in my pockets.
You go ahead, check the cards, and you can go ahead, try and pull one of them as a flash of light bursts from the card. For better or worse. And that's where we'll end the game.
Cool.
Yeah, I tried to keep this one on the shorter side, all things considered.
Yeah,
Regardless,
it's been nice.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
again, I try to keep this as simple as humanly possible, so make of it what you will. But yeah, if you do want to actually draw something, that would be a D12.
All right. I do. I want to see what's gonna happen to me. That is a 2.
I love this shit.
Evil DM chuckle.
I will say, since this is not part of the game, I can forego with any subtlety or dramatic flair. You draw the moon card, and I'm just gonna roll for shits and giggles. Gain access to 3 uses of the wish spell.
Nice.
Damn.
3 uses?
So yeah, explain that to your next DM whenever you bring Soren into campaign. My character has wish because he said so.
Also, just fitting that she would get the moon card.
I know, right? See, it all works out. But yeah, I am saddened that 2 players had to drop, but shit happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Life gonna life, man.
Yeah. But
It's
regardless,
alright. It worked out though. We were on the end stretch there too, so it's not a big deal.
true. Either way, hope you had a good time. Again, I keep things simple, mostly just introduction for new players, more experience for experienced players, and just refreshers for DMs and other players like that. So, make of it what you will.
I had fun.
Yeah,
Demon
fun.
tree aside, I had fun.
Well, the whole point is for it to be scary. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
But yeah, either
Yeah.
way,
As always, just let me know if you need someone to fill the spot.
all right.
Same.
Yep. Not sure what the future entails because I got a lot of IRL stuff I got to do. Probably should stop putting off work, but details.
Capitalism doesn't pay us enough to actually care about it.
I mean, not too of that in the DMV, but what are you gonna do about that? Either way, I will call it here. Get some work done, get some lunch, because I am quite hungry. And yeah, glad you had a great game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank
Have
you.
fun. Have a good night.
Right, adios.